Hello and welcome to the Dark Side of Twitch podcast. I'm your host, the Offline DJ, and I'm joined today by Rob, aka PokePred. We
What's
got
up, baby?
John, aka KonciousKid, and we've got Joey, aka Scraps.
What's up, y'all?
So how you boys been lately?
Good.
Yeah?
Good,
Most
good.
part. Yeah.
I know it's been a
Hello.
minute since the last episode. Scraps, I know you were there.
It's been a few months. Yeah.
It's been a few months. I know I've been down bad, really been slacking on getting these scheduled and everything. But you know, we're out here. We're doing this. We're out here today.
We out here, baby.
All right. So I was thinking, we were already kind of talking about it before we started recording. Most of us have been getting into the Pokemon trading card scene. And I know Pred up here,
yeah.
great shop. I done sunk a couple $100 in.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, winning that retro 1999 original Topps movie pack too, eh?
Oh yeah, that was a blessing.
Primo.
Bro, that was chills, man. 100% chills.
Yeah.
And I just kind of want to get y'all's, I guess, how y'all feel about that becoming such a big trend on Twitch.
Honestly, I jumped on the trend, dude. Honestly, I collected when I was younger because I'm a 90s baby, of course. 90s babies
feel
didn't
that.
collect Pokemon cards, you know what I mean? And then I saw how big it got, and it just gave me nostalgia, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll start collecting again. So that's what happened
Yeah,
for me.
for me it was pretty much the same thing. Like one of my best friends, Slant, she's the co-host over on my channel, and he was showing me all the new cards pretty much. And when I seen that new Hidden Fates Charizard SV's 49, man, I just had to like that there is what I want. That Charizard right there, like I don't know what came over me. It was like the same nostalgia being in like Walmart in 1999 with my mom, getting that Fossil first edition booster pack, going out to the car, ripping it open, getting that Aerodactyl, being like, yes.
And now knowing that first edition pack is worth like fucking what, 30 grand?
Well, yeah, some of them can be pretty. Like, for example, in my display cabinet behind me, I got a first edition base 2-player starter deck. And that was literally the first thing that I had as a child for Pokemon. Like, I was screaming and bawling, snotting and tearing for it. Mom came home with it. That was all she could get, was a starter deck. There was no boosters. There was nothing like that available in the shops, just like it is now. That's what I got. So when I got back into Pokemon, I was like right into the Twitch scene regardless, like watching streamers, supporting streamers, and never streaming myself. When I stumbled upon Concentrated Mind, it just like sparked me, like cannabis community, Pokemon breaks. It was like, man, this is working. Like this is something I get down with. Like, so then I realized like where I live, there's not many people going out and grabbing the product. So I was able to like start a small collection of seal product and able to offer it to my community at a reasonable price, because there's some markups out there that people are literally getting bent over and they don't know it. They're like, oh, this is what it costs, when they don't know that they can go and get it into the store for 4 times cheaper. It just doesn't make sense. Like, and that's what I try to shed light on, and like I try to push is like a product that's, it's not out of people's reach. It's right there. You know what I mean? You can just get it, and it's like going into Walmart days are over because people are literally lined up, or going into Target, they're lined up 4 a.m. until they open, and then they have limits now in the store. So even if you do make it there at 4 a.m. to be second in line to get one Hidden Fate CTB, you can't get another one. You can't, right? So I'm that middleman where it's like, hey, I collected it all. I go every week. I get it. I stock it, and I'm able to give it to you guys at like not what they're being sold for on eBay or like StockX or like all these shady places. And there's, not to mention just the resealing that's going on, because right now resealing vintage or resealing even new products is is the new scam. It's the new scam. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like for example, in another channel, there was a guy saying he bought Evo, and that they were resealed, and he was 100% sure. He had 3 or 4 other people say that they were resealed, but everybody who told him that they were resealed never had enough Evo product in their hands to even give him a solid answer. As soon as I seen these packs, I was like, dude, I've opened thousands of Evo. Every single one of them are sealed like they're sealed with a glue stick. They're not like, there's not an impulse sealer imprint on both sides. When you cut the pack open, it normally just falls apart. And that's what he couldn't comprehend. Like, back in 2016, Pokemon was in such a nosedive that they didn't put quality. They just pushed the product out. They didn't care. If you look at Evo as a set, yeah, it's the highest, newest set to be resold, and the quality of the cards are dog. Like, you look at the population in a PSA 10 of most of the high-end cards. So Mew, Charizard Reverse, Charizard Regular, MEX Charizard, all the gold cards, so Dragon Knight and Misty. Those cards in PSA 10s, the population is so low, that's what drives the cost of it up.
Yeah.
So the market in Pokemon is beyond what a collector's view is, because there's the aspect of the collector's view, and then there's the aspect of someone who's viewing it as an investment. And then there's the overhang shadow of it's fucking straight up gambling. And that's the 3 sides of this whole topic. Like, for me, like, it can get dark. Like, there's been like moments in the last 3 months of me doing breaks where it's like, okay, like, this is getting like to the point where people are obviously gaining an addiction, and it's like they're changing. I can see people going from like being supportive to being very, very greedy right away, and it's just like so simple. And at the end of the day, it's Pokemon. It's supposed to be something that's supposed to grow a community and be happy, but there's 2 sides of the coin. Like, it can be such an addiction to people that it's just like greed and like selfishness overcomes the community growth, or like wanting to see someone else be successful. They're like, and I see all of it, right? I see it all, and
and I feel like a lot of like third-person parties that are just like I don't know, Scraps down there. Like, you're looking in on this. You're not being a part of it, but you're seeing people are buying Pokemon cards, people are supporting streamers, but there are a lot of people that really do take it out of hand, and they go like into like a gambling fucking spree.
No, that's there's all sorts of like different instances on Twitch where people go on gambling sprees. I mean, gambling for partnered streamers is huge right now.
Huge.
Like, people are like, the thing is, you can't take like a sponsorship in it, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the Pokemon trend. Not like, no hate towards Pokemon, nothing like that. I grew up with it. I just like, it's the most boring, repetitive content to me.
I feel that. I know what you're saying, right?
So boring.
Yeah. And that's like the struggle I have.
People's livelihoods, so like, I mean, I get there's a really big community and a lot of people have this nostalgia, and it's more people like our age, a little bit older. It's not like the Zoomers, it's not the high school kids that are into it.
Yeah.
So like, the resurgence is really cool to see for it as a whole, but it's so boring, and it sucks because, you know, people complain like they don't get the same viewers anymore. It's like, well, you're primarily focused on one type of content. Like, when you stream that 5-6 days a week, chances of me stopping in there pretty slim.
Yeah.
You know?
So that was like a big thing that I was looking at, like, on growing my community and growing my channel, because I literally started Twitch as a breaker. I didn't start Twitch as a gamer, as IRL, as a just chatter. I literally am grinding the Pokemon channels, right? Like, that is what I'm doing. But I also expanded into doing things like giveaways, marble races, having duck races, things like that. I also expanded into sports, into Dragon Ball Z, into like all these other TCGs. I asked my community, hey, what are you interested in? What type of trading cards are you interested in? Like, for example, like Zelda cards might turn you on, but Pokemon turns me on, but basketball turns someone else on, and hockey turns someone else on. And that's where I'm like trying to like break that ice of, okay, I'm a Pokemon breaker. I only have Pokemon. My channel is based only on Pokemon. And like at first, I had people straight up being like, "Oh, you're breaking basketball, peace, I'm out." Like, "Oh, you're breaking hockey, like, peace, I'm out." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. I lost 5 viewers because I'm trying to get other content than Pokemon."
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's like push and give, because sometimes I notice like soon as I bust out like an expensive pack of Pokemon, viewers go up 10. Bust out like double the cost of something in sport related, viewers go down. And it's just like, where's that ground of like, okay, Pokemon's still more hype than any other TCG or any other collecting cards, like right now for breakers. And I guess like it all started out with basketball and hockey and sports. Like that's where the break term comes from, because a lot of the times it's people going in on a team. You buy a spot in a box on a team, opposed to like just buying packs off someone, and it's more of a pop-up shop that way, right? It's not like I'm considered a breaker, but realistically I'm a pop-up shop, because a breaker, air quotes, is someone who, like, for example, like a hobby box of basketball is like $2,500. Everybody buys one team at random. So then I random all the teams off to 32 people that bought in. Then everybody gets a team, and then I open the box. If no cards get pulled out of your team, guess what? You get nothing.
You get no cards. That's wild.
And that's like that's where it started. I think and like that happened in like 2015. Whenever McDavid became like this all-star like rookie, right? That's when it was like, and it started out on Facebook. It didn't start out on Twitch. Because I was in all these breaker groups on Facebook, and it was just like this huge community, people spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars breaking every night. It was just like, holy crap. Outrageous. Like, you think Pokemon is getting out of hand, and the scumbags that are like developing in the Pokemon community are like getting out of hand, but
well, I mean, there's
sports is another realm. Like another realm of scumbags, right? Like the real scumbags, right? Like the people who are scamming people, ripping people off, overcharging. Like football, basketball, and hockey, not so much, but football and basketball right now, like a $20 booster pack of basketball in Walmart is selling for $75 fucking dollars. What kind of markup is that? $75.
It really is.
Really?
It really is something that has kind of gotten out of hand, and like
it's insane.
You can't.
Insane.
It's
honestly, you can't expect people to not make it get out of hand, because something that valuable.
So that's not the first thing to get out of hand like that. I mean, you look at a bunch of stuff recently, like graphics cards, resale in general is going crazy.
The new consoles.
Honestly, one of the reasons I think it's a lot more common now is hypebeast culture. It seriously really started kicking that off when people were like, "Oh, I'll buy that pair of pants off of you for $800, no questions asked." People were like, "Wait, I can buy something, make sure nobody else gets it, and then just jack up the price." And like, it really started out with like exclusive drops, people lining up for weeks for drops starting in like 2012, 2013, and then I mean, even back in like the 90s, people were lining up for limited release Jordans and stuff.
I'm guilty of that. I'm one of those. I'm guilty. Like, I have a huge Jordan collection. I'm guilty of that, right?
But I think like because a lot of the stuff, because of Twitch, is a lot more in common knowledge. Like, you know, people see, even if you don't stream, if you've watched Twitch on YouTube, watch a streamer on YouTube at all, I guarantee you see the Twitch highlights. And like, so our culture gets out there, and people are just like, oh, here's another opportunity to make a ton of money. So it's people like coming from the hype beast culture where they're getting screwed over on the clothing they want. You know?
It definitely stems from that, right? Like,
yeah.
There's no reason why a product shouldn't be on the shelves that is mass produced. But if any one of you go to your Walmart right now and go to the card section, there's going to be a security guy there. The shelf's going to be empty, and you're going to be asked what the hell you're doing there. And that's the way you're treated at like most stores now in the card sections, because there's so much stealing, there's so much fights, there's so much arguments, there's so much like limitations. I heard stories of like little kids get thrown into the shelves because they had the last Hidden Fates ETB that got dropped that day. And like get robbed and thrown into the shelf. Or like I seen a surveillance video. of a
has
McDonald's
security
where
guards
two
at a
guys go
fucking
in
park?
holding shotguns and rob 3 boxes of McDonald's booster packs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's just like, that
Some
makes no
people,
sense. Like,
yeah, some people are just taking
something
it way
is
too far.
Dude,
It's
they have
that's
security at
insane.
your card shops?
Oh, did we lose Rob?
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, I think we might have lost
oh.
him.
oh, rip.
something's personal.
Oh, there
I'm
he
here.
is.
Oh,
There he is.
I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here.
You froze
I
there
think
for a second.
I think my internet don't like Discord. It'll like give something else more priority. So if like say if I open up the internet, it'll just give that priority over Discord for some reason. I don't know why it does that, but
Well then.
Discord gets last priority.
Isn't there a way you can set that up?
Yeah.
It's just because I got it set up for OBS and all my add-ons to take
Gotcha.
priority over Discord. That's why I'm pretty sure.
Hey man, it's rough trying to figure out like that sweet spot of getting everything to work. I know I'm definitely not at that point to where like all my streaming and shit is.
Yeah, Discord seems to be the only thing still messing up, and it's like I don't know if it's because my connection to the closest server for Discord is far, because where I live so far out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Like my internet sometimes when I first started streaming it was terrible. I had to like hone in the bit rate that I had to stream at, even though I pay for fiber op and I have apparently 1.5 gigabit up and down. It's nowhere near that.
Yeah.
Nowhere near that.
Trust
So-
me,
Well-
I experienced the whole not getting what you pay for thing. Living on
You
this,
guys
it's
know-
pretty bad.
You guys know the difference between gigabit and gigabyte, right?
No,
Yeah,
not
it's
really.
gigabyte or bit. I didn't know what I said.
So you said gigabit. So a lot of times people will say their internet is like gigabit, trying to act
Yeah.
like it's huge.
No, mine's it's small.
bit-
It's small as fuck.
Yeah, a bit is an eighth of a byte. There's 8
Yeah.
bits in a byte.
Yeah.
So when they say 1.25 gigabit, you're talking about an eighth of a gigabyte of that. So
Yeah,
Wow.
it's 1.5 gigabyte. I think
yeah,
is in
you got to
there.
be super careful when you're buying internet. You can pay attention to that. A lot of places will be like, "Oh yeah, you can get 6,000 megabit."
Jeez.
Yeah, and it's not.
Yeah.
I think it's 1.5 gigabyte. Is what I have. It's the fastest internet that they offer. It's literally like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And it's I was having so many issues. It made no sense. Like didn't make any sense. But getting back to like how aggro people are getting over trading cards, it's disgusting. There's
Yeah.
groups on Facebook calling out like quote unquote scalpers. There's literally a group here where I live that they follow people around the store. They'll take videos of you. It's like it's messed up. Like I was in Costco and they had a great deal on a bunch of tins. When I first started breaking, that's literally the first products I bought were a pile of tins at Costco. It was $1,500 or $2,000 worth of tins. 2 cartloads. Right? This dude started taking a video of me. I walked over to him. I was like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you taking a video of me?" He's like, "Oh, I'm on Twitter." I'm like, "You're on Twitter in the middle of the meat section, turned around from your cart." That makes lots of sense, right? I was like, "Can you please just delete that video? Like, it makes no sense why you're taking a video of me." He's like, "I'm not taking a video. I'm on Twitter." I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna say it again. Like, you're not on Twitter in the middle of the meat section in Costco. Like, what do you do? Just stop. Oh, what's on Twitter today? Like, turn around. Like, no, that's not what you're doing. Like, I understand. I have a lot of it. It wasn't if you want Pokemon, there's still 1,000 units on the shelf. Like, I didn't take them all. Don't worry. Like, it was just so funny and bizarre. But then like, they go straight to social media and post it. It's like, all right, man. Like, I'm literally like giving this back to a community at a price that's half. Like when I first started streaming, Evo was in those tins. When I first started streaming, I was selling Evo for $15 a pack. Go find one other streamer right now that can say that.
Yeah.
Find one. You can't. You just can't. Unless it was like 3 years ago or 4 years ago when the thing come out for $3.50 a booster. Then maybe there was one streamer breaking Pokemon for cheap. But like that's one set that we talked about before that's just gone. It's gone insane. It makes no sense. There's people that have no idea about the hobby buying it. Grown ass men, like in their 60s and 70s, I see lined up at Walmart in front of me, getting hidden fates, leaving me with nothing to get. And I'm just like, man, that guy's gonna go try to sell it for 3 to 4 or 5 times the amount, or he's just gonna hold on to it for 3 years until the thing's worth 8, 10 times the amount, and then resell it. Like, that's what a lot of these people are doing. So a lot of the product that should be out in the customer's hands are literally getting swooped up and not sold, sat on, and it makes that market go up because the ones that are available to be broke or available to be opened up, there's very limited of them because there's so many people like holding and not wanting to get rid of it. Like I know, like right now, I know 3 or 4 people with well over 10,000 Evo packs. Like well over, like just so in like 2 years from now they can, double, triple, quadruple their money. And that's what's driving this market crazy is people acting like it's not a trading card game that's collectible. They're acting like it's a stock market or like it's Dogecoin or something. Like that's what it's getting to. Like it's kind of disgusting to be honest. It's like that's what I'm trying to avoid, right?
So do you guys have anything invested in crypto?
Yeah, I've actually got.
Zero. I don't believe in it. Like honestly, it's just like
I have been trying to find this USB. I have a USB with I forget how many Dogecoin on it. I bought $12 worth in like 2010 when it first launched. So it was like 10,000ths of a cent.
Now it's like 16 cents, isn't it not?
Hold on, I can check right now.
It's been spiking like crazy.
The last time I checked was like 3 or 4 days ago.
But how long is the meme gonna last?
Dogecoin is up to 38 cents, and honestly,
my god!
I could have a quick like 30,000 if I find this.
And so
you better find it quick.
I really think
I've been looking. I have tested probably 24 USBs around my house. Still have not found it.
Bro.
I'm of the mindset because of Elon Musk and how much like influence he has on Twitter.
Big time.
I am of the belief that if and when we're able to colonize Mars, like in our lifetime, if we're able to do that, I actually feel like Dogecoin is going to go through the roof because Elon Musk has so much faith in it.
Or it'll be the currency of tomorrow,
the
right?
thing is also though, he's a lot of that is people just following trends. A lot of the investments of like cryptocurrency, and he has done in the past and will do it again. When it happens, nobody knows. He sells off a ton and then just like it falls a little bit and then he just buys back more, tells people, oh yeah, Dogecoin's popping back up because I just bought a ton of it. He's just making his own money. I mean, Tesla themselves, just Tesla, the company, has 2.3 billion in Bitcoin right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's not even Musk. Musk has his own funds in there as well.
Yeah. When you buy a Tesla, you can literally buy with crypto. They give you an option, right?
Yeah.
So that's where most of that funds has actually come from as well. So you got to realize they're taking investments on selling vehicles. So say if they sold a Tesla 2 years ago when Bitcoin was like 16,000 or 18,000, when it was like crazy. Now they lost money on all those vehicles, right? So like you got to look at it that way as well. That they're willing to take a risk for you to spend your money. And like that to me is like capitalism. Like that company.
Oh
is gonna just rule. Like in 10 years, like I'm an automotive technician by trade, and like my trade is literally going all electric. Like all electric. There's components in cars that you don't even think about that are electric. Like the new Infinities don't even have a steering shaft. There's a sensor in your steering wheel, and there's a sensor down your steering box. When you turn the wheel, it tells it where it wants to go, right? And that's like there's so many things that are like gone electric. Like there's electric water pumps, there's electric steering boxes, like I was just saying, there's electric cars. Like,
Yeah.
period. That they've been around like since the EV1. That car literally was taken off the market because all the oil companies were like, whoa, 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 whoa. But Elon Musk got this big dick out there, and he's just gonna tell those oil companies to fuck off. And that's like what the world needed back in 2010 or 2009 when the EV1 come out. But now with a leader like him owning a company, because he is a leader, he's literally leading so many different companies and having his fingers all over in tech, that it's like there's no way the man isn't going to make any company successful. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's a reason he's the richest man in the world. So
yeah.
He
Indeed.
he's definitely swinging his clout around, because I don't think
big
there's
time.
been any company that he's touched that hasn't gotten at least a little bit of just fame from being associated with him.
flamethrowers. Literally, everybody's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I gotta have
I'm
a
not a
flamethrower," because
flamethrower.
Elon Musk owned the company.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
it's not a
mean-
flamethrower. It's a flamethrower, people.
I want a flamethrower just because it's a fucking flamethrower.
Yeah.
You know?
Right?
I myself am a big proponent for the Second Amendment, and that is exactly how big of a proponent I am. I want a recreational flamethrower.
Right?
Yeah.
Takes just propane tanks, you just screw a new one on.
Yep.
I go up to one of my friends' cabins up north once a year, just over 4th of July weekend. We've done it, I don't know, 5-6 years in a row. And last year, his neighbors on this lake are like these Chicago PDs. So they're all just like a bunch of cops hanging out in the place next to us. Like, you know, we'll just grill out with them one night. But they they had one of those there last year. They were clearing out some weeds from the beach
crap.
line. They're just sitting there with a flamethrower, just like, and it was like, wait, you guys actually bought one? They're like, oh yeah, this thing's
They were
awesome.
hard to get. Apparently, they sold
Oh,
out.
Oh yeah.
They sold out. Apparently, they were
Yeah.
like Pokemon. You just couldn't get them. Like,
Yeah, that's like another. That's like the opposite side of the spectrum of like hype beast culture. It's on that same level, but it's like,
Yeah.
hey, I have a flamethrower. That's like Supreme a few years back was selling a crowbar that said Supreme on it, and people were just lining up for it.
Bricks. They sold lighters, crowbars, tents, inflatable kayaks, like
Pylons.
whatever you can think of.
Yeah. Just people are just finding any way to like
Pinball
label
machine.
They're just
the
labeling.
pinball machine is
random
worth
shit.
like 40K or 50K or something.
Yeah,
it's worth
somebody-
a ridiculous amount.
Somebody
It's
I
probably
know,
even more now because it's old and probably like, you know.
Yeah.
Not produced
Somebody I
anymore.
know
Old
got
Supreme.
one. It like on release, they sold for 5K on release, but instantly 35.
Yeah.
Instantly for resale.
Instantly, and that's US, right? Like to me,
Yeah.
that's times that what by 1.25 because Canadian
Yeah.
dollars, that maple syrup money sucks. Like right now, it's 0.8. like yeah, let's get real. It's terrible.
I mean,
It's terrible.
I have firsthand experience with that. I met a guy in the airport who was from Canada. I gave him a 5 and he gave me 15.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad. Like for me to buy anything from the States, it's just like instantly nah. Like
Yep.
it's hard, right?
It definitely.
Like for example, when I was buying off Concentrated Mind, and shipping is like, if I lived in the States, it'd be like $2-3.
Oh yeah.
Right?
As soon as you
You
go
know-
international with shipping, is crazy.
Well, it's international and then the conversion rate. So international is like $20, and then you convert It ended up being like $40, $41 to ship my cards.
Jeez.
And I was just like, okay, so how many other Canadians are buying off Americans, or vice versa? How many Americans are buying off Canadians, or how many Americans are buying off Americans and getting ripped off because the market in America is honestly more blown up than it is in Canada.
Oh
It seems
yeah.
like because of the population density, like we're so spread out. Like you guys are so populally densilated that it's like, okay, there's 2 Walmarts per 100,000 people, where like there's 18 Walmarts per 100,000 people, say in Canada, and like MJ Holdings still ships out the same amount to each Walmart, depending on the size of the Walmart, depending on how much product they ship them, but they're still getting all the same product.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's like for me, there's 4 Walmarts, one's closed, so there's 3 left. The next closest Walmart to make it 4 again is like 45-minute drive. So like for me to go get
talk
to
to your
another
grandma
Walmart,
who lives in the middle of nowhere to go
Yeah.
to her local Walmart for you.
and like
Yeah.
honestly, like where I live, it's so like once you go past city limits, it's like, okay, 2 hours, one town, another hour, another town, another 3 hours, another town, and then it's like nothing, like literally like woods.
Oh
and
yeah,
that's it,
here you
right?
can't go like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
At least about
exactly.
where I live, you can't go 30 minutes without hitting a town.
Oh
Yeah, here it's no development. Like we're literally the last in the country to get anything. Like it's crazy. Like I can watch like Canadian groups sell the products and be like, okay, I'll be able to get that in 2 weeks. Like when Prism come out, when the Cellos, like the booster packs,
Yeah.
they come out in British Columbia, which is the other side of
Yeah.
the country for me. They come out there like 3 weeks ago. Last week they come out for us. So I was like, okay, I know when to go to get those. Like that's how easy it is for me to get, like, and that's why I'm able to get the products for people, is because like I can literally map it out because I see it go over there in the side of the country, and by the time it comes here, I know when the stock days are, and I know what the stock's gonna be just based on what people are selling on the groups.
Yeah.
Because obviously, okay, everybody's selling the new Prism, that's what come out this week. So next week or the week after, I'm gonna be able to get it. So it's just like it's so weird like how it works like that, but it's a part of that hype community. Like if you see like, okay, like Supreme launched it in LA, they launched like these products, and you see like on StockX, oh, I'm able to get like this off-white Supreme Cross belt here on StockX right now for this price, or I can wait for the drop here and just get it myself. Like that's like where I'm at with it, because we're so far behind everything, and like shipping's behind, and like everything like that's just so behind here. So it's easy to map out what's going to be here and when it's going to be here, because you see it before it comes, right? It's not like you guys, like you see it, and when you see it, it's too fucking late. Like because you've seen it not in the store in your hands, it's too late. It's too late. It's already too late. But for me, it's like, ooh, next week, like next week it's coming.
On the topic of shipping, and I know I'm probably like a month or 2 late on this, but what did y'all think of the whole deal with the Suez Canal getting blocked up by that ship? Do you guys
that
think
was
that was
insane. Well,
bro,
so that's actually, it's weird because that was a little bit of a blessing in disguise. I'm not sure how much you guys, well, it's relatively publicized, but there's actually a worldwide shortage on shipping containers right now because the ports are so blocked up. Like they can't empty stuff out fast enough to actually clear out the ports. So like a lot of these shipping ships have just been sitting in place. So it's kind of a curse because of the regular shipments that were unable to make it through the port. I think it was like $4 billion of industry per day that ship was blocking the port. But it also allowed like all the major ports to start catching up a little bit. So regular shipping stuff's starting to come back.
What I heard, like the negative that I heard on that was like there was a lot of like animals like trapped basically in shipping containers or in shipment with no food and water, and that was like the big drive of like, okay, this they need to resolve this fast,
them
right?
From like online pet shops and shit.
Not even that, just like cattle or like just farm animals, or just like meat animals, you know what I'm trying to say? Like they're being sold and bought, and like that's the main transport, is like load them all up, put them on a boat.
That's kind of fucked up, man.
Yeah, it is. And like that's where like what I started to like see mostly publicized about that is like, okay, like a lot of these shipping containers hold livestock. It's not like just it's just not your Japanese Pokemon cards, PokePred. There's livestock there, bro. Like you gotta chill. Like
I mean,
there's
it's
more
like
important
textiles,
things, right? Like,
grains, livestock,
all sorts of just valuable goods just being trapped there for a while.
What I read mostly was like people giving a shit about the livestock. They didn't care that, okay, like your Amazon orders backed up, but it's not even like that. It was like, it's the Suez Canal. It's not even.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's different.
I mean, it's the most traveled through canal in the world.
yeah,
so.
exactly. It's the fastest way around Egypt? Question mark.
No,
Yeah, the
so you
fastest
don't
way
have to go through around
Africa.
Africa. Yeah.
Yeah. You go straight through. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that I know that probably had more impact on like the countries around the Mediterranean, like Southern Europe and all those port cities around there. I know
Yeah.
that
100%.
that was probably pretty devastating to their economy. Like if those
Yeah.
ports weren't backed up before that
Well,
happened, it was
Oil
probably pretty bad.
prices for a lot of those countries jacked up a decent amount, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the U.S. as expensive as it is sometimes for oil here, we're still always on the cheaper end.
Yeah. Like I know for a while there, gas out here in Cali almost reached $4 again, and like we haven't seen that
Yeah.
since like 2008. Like,
Ours
that's-
is we measure it different, but it's like I think it's $1.50 a liter, so there's 4 liters in a gallon, so
yeah
$6, right? So
yeah, it got pretty bad, and I know that
that's what I pay right now, right?
yeah a
Yeah.
lot
Because
of people,
I'm on an island, right?
What
But
am
what's
I?
conversion rate? What is that in U.S. dollars though?
that
6 US.
that'd
One
probably
second,
be
I'll
like
do it right
$4 for us, yeah, because
So
480.
you're
yeah
So you, oh man, so you are higher than we are. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's no way. I'm at what fucking $3 right now.
mm-hmm.
Is
Yeah.
what I pay.
Yeah, I think I'm somewhere in there. I've got a friend
I wish
who
it was
is
$3.
near a bunch of like oil refineries. I don't know what state. It's just an online friend, but they sent me a picture of their gas. It was like, I don't know, $1.50, $1.85 here, somewhere in that range.
Wow.
She sends me a Snapchat, under $1 a gallon. It was like
Wow,
98
dude.
cents, and I was
Yeah,
like,
dude, I haven't seen that
what
since I was, like,
the
5
hell
years
is
old, man.
that?
Yeah, that's unheard of nowadays.
That's 20 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
There was a time
even
there.
longer than that.
There was a time there just after like when we first had our first lockdown here.
Yeah,
Gas spiked and then it dropped like on its
like
face.
crazy because nobody was traveling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
Mhm.
dropped like immensely. Like I think it was like 80
Yeah,
cents, which is like
that's-
below $3 a gallon, right? Like for
Yeah.
us.
yeah. That's when she had 98 cents
Yeah.
a gallon in the U.S., which I'm just like, what the?
Well, it went to
Never seen that.
76 cents here, which would be 76 times 4, and then you times that by 0.8, so it'd be like 2.43 a gallon. Is
Mhm.
what
Yeah.
like the
Gotta
lowest
smoke
it
some
went,
weed.
which is like pretty sweet.
And speaking on the whole lockdown thing, what are you guys' feelings on these vaccines? Because I know a lot of people that I
yeah.
have talked to, if they're getting like the multi-shot vaccines, a lot of
Yeah.
times on the second shot, people are starting to get pretty sick.
Second shot messed me up a little bit. It was like a day I was sick.
You know, I have not gone and gotten my vaccine yet.
Yeah.
And I do plan on getting my vaccine. I work with kids. I'm a hip hop dance teacher, so eventually I'm going to have to go and get my vaccine. Like, even though there is like a sign, I don't fucking remember what the term for it is, but it's like a certain percentage of population gets the fucking vaccine, and the other
Herd
little bit
immunity.
of
Yeah, the herd immunity. Yeah.
that shit. Which for a long time, I'm not gonna fucking lie, I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to put some foreign shit in my arm. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but as time went on, I'm seeing people get the shit done, realizing that shit's not happening to them. You know what I'm like? They're not growing a 7th arm out of their nipple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of shit that could happen that hasn't happened. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm more leaning towards like I'm gonna get it done.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got my second one 2 weeks ago, so
Did you
I
get the
almost have
Pfizer
immunity.
you shot?
No, I got Moderna. I went through
Okay.
Walgreens for mine.
All right.
First shot wasn't bad. My arm was just really sore.
Sore. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like couldn't lift it above my head. Sore.
Yeah, that's normal for a
Um,
muscle puncture.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
usually-
and
Right?
then-
sounds
That's like
like
anything.
Well,
that
I
would
mean,
actually-
like, no, I've had flu shots and I've had shots where like you're a little sore. It was like straight up could not lift my
Okay.
arm.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
fucked up. That's
Because
like
these shots
after
are
workout shit.
RNA, like the shots are
It's-
RNA, so it is
Yeah.
like it is
It is a-
damaging cells at the same time as repairing and like
Yeah.
creating cells.
Mhm.
And
So then it did. That one was fine besides the soreness, and the soreness was like maybe 6 hours. And then the second one, because with Moderna you have to wait 4 weeks between your shots. So the second one I got 4 weeks later, and instantly sore. It wasn't like the first one took like 3-4 hours before I was like, okay, yeah, I'm actually really sore. This one
Mhm.
was like shots done 5 minutes sore. I was like,
Yeah.
okay. My mom had like a little bit of a fever one night or the first night, and then I was sick for a day. I mean, I had fever, chills, nausea, spins,
That's after getting your
sore.
shot.
The second one, yeah. It was just one day and done. But I mean, that's the
that's-
thing. Is like I would just say take a second day off, and it like some people or take a day after you get it off.
and
Is all I
that's
would
kind of
recommend.
normal for flu shots, right? Like that.
I mean, it's
that
literally
symptom
just
is
injecting you with the virus. Like they're giving you what you're trying to be immunized to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, these injections
It's
are
different.
RNA. Like it's the
Yeah.
first time they've ever done this kind of technology in an injection with like a
Which like basically what they're trying to do now is because there's different like mutations of COVID. They're trying to genetically engineer a molecule. So it's basically it's like an actual species of the coronavirus. And they say if they basically there's like the cones, like how it looks like the little spiky ball, right?
Mhm.
So on the top of those are cones, and they say basically with this RNA technology, they could modify it to be all of those cones be a different version of coronavirus, and
Wow.
also using the same technology potentially cure the common cold,
Oh wow.
yeah.
because the common cold is a coronavirus.
And if you look at how actual RNA like technology works, like
Yeah.
there's no reason why they can't implement that into other medicine. Like the fact is,
They've
like,
already so they actually got this idea originally because they've been finding using RNA for. I mean, they've had the technology for a little bit.
Yeah.
They've been using it for cancer patients to
that's what I
create
was gonna
treatment.
say. Like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
directly for their cancer, and it's shown to be
Yeah.
a lot higher results than your normal
and that's what I was
chemotherapy.
getting to is like the reason why they haven't pushed this is in the past is because how much money does raising money to cure cancer?
Mhm.
It's cancer's worth more not cured. As
I
sick
mean,
as that
you're
sounds.
absolutely fucking right. It is
Mhm.
And as sick as
disgusting.
that fucking sounds, cancer's worth more not cured.
That-
Coronavirus is worth more cured. And
Yep.
that's why they're used like health like the health like for Canada, we had to like allow them to say this is medicine. And they use a what is the word? Like a catastrophe. Like there had to be an event to be like,
yeah.
okay, this is dangerous, but it's more dangerous to not approve this product.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that's like why like for us one like I can't get the vaccine yet. I'm not in the age group right now. I think it's
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, you cut out again.
oh, he's gonna come back like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bobbing and weaving.
The
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Yeah,
between
cheers.
55 and 60.
Oh,
my
there.
God.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
55 and 60.
Yeah, between 55 and
Yeah.
60 is when you're eligible to get the shot now, and they were telling people that there was two different vaccines. So there's a Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna, like what
Yeah.
you got. And the Moderna apparently is like more dangerous to people over the age of 60 than coronavirus because apparently like one in like 140,000 people they can get a blood clot.
Mhm.
No,
So, like,
that's Johnson and Johnson.
Oh, it's Johnson and Johnson.
So
Yeah.
Johnson and Johnson,
Oh, okay, I got that wrong.
6 women between the ages of 18 and 48 developed a blood clotting disease. Not blood clot, but a disease.
Oh,
So-
dang! I'm not educated
yeah.
as much, I guess. Sorry
Yeah,
about
so-
Yeah,
that.
so that's why they canceled it. Is like, granted, it's a very minimal chance.
Yeah.
That's why they canceled it, because they had to do further research
There
into
was
it,
people
because
in my
it was
province.
there was one in Canada, and there were a couple people around Colorado, I think, is where
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
majority of them. So they that's why Colorado canceled first, and then that's why they did the complete shutdown of Johnson and Johnson.
I know California
also-
had canceled it for a while. For
Yeah.
the same
Here's voice.
reason. And I feel like that's one of the main reasons that it's not mandatory to get your vaccine, because of how like experimental and still like they're still
new it
working out
is,
the
yeah.
kinks and stuff.
They're like the team that developed the vaccine, the original vaccine in the U.S., the governmental team at least. I just watched a 60 Minutes thing on them, and they basically were relatively new and team, and basically they were starting to get this task like, okay, we're going to run an experimental test, like you have to solve this vaccine issue in 60 days. This is even before coronavirus, and they did it in like 71, and then they're like, okay, let's run it again, and then bam, corona.
Mm-hmm.
So or COVID-19 rather, not corona.
Right.
They basically went from one test to directly into trying to use this technique in a smaller time span. So they technically had the RNA sampling done. I think it took them like 56 days.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is insane.
After the first death, 56 days after the first death in the U.S.
Yeah.
is when
Wow.
they had the cure already set. But then the rest of that time was bureaucracy and actually testing the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I feel like bureaucracy plays a large role in like delaying a lot of solutions to a lot of different problems.
As somebody who does some stuff with the state, I'm contracted out to a state agency. I just do like graphics and stuff for them. It's nothing like crazy. They run really slow sometimes. They run really slow. It's taken
trust me.
people 2 weeks to respond to an email
I
after
know
I've called
exactly.
them and written them a few emails.
I know exactly
It
how
runs
that can get.
really slow sometimes. And if you
especially
think
being
that's a
military.
small agency of about 50 employees,
Mm-hmm.
if they run like that, like imagine the larger levels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can definitely vouch for the larger
Oh
levels.
yeah, true.
Yeah, being military, sending just like one request up could take like 3 weeks to get something approved.
That's
And
like,
that's if it's something simple and quick to just
Rough, dude.
apply.
one of my favorite stories I've ever heard about the U.S. military is some base was trying to order a spare nut for a Humvee, and they put the wrong part order in, and they were shipped a Blackhawk
Mhm.
instead. But they didn't have any pilots or anything on base. They had nothing to do with it, so they just used it for munitions because the army wouldn't take it back.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
man.
like-
That's hilarious.
Misclick of
whole
a
ass-
century.
It's
whole
a-
ass Blackhawk.
Misclick.
Just
Misclick
like,
of a
okay, we
century.
just have to explode it because we can't do anything with it.
It
And I
took
feel bad when I
3
count
fucking-
out 10 boosters for someone instead of 8.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, I lost money. Oh well. Like imagine that. Like imagine like the
Yeah.
taxpayers that suck that one up.
Oh yeah, trust me. It took 3 years to get one of the chow halls here opened because of a small clerical error on the sizing of the cabinets in there. They've ordered
Like-
cabinets that were too big to fit all the appliances in between them. And so they had
Oh.
to cut out all those cabinets, refit the cabinets, order them, and then get them put back in, and then make sure that everything was up to fire code.
And so, where did you go to eat?
We had a different chow hall here to go to. There's 2 on this base that are open at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
But like they'd closed down. Like they had this area like being worked on, like for like 3 or 4 years. Like the old Master Chief that was here, he was like,
Nice.
"Oh yeah, when I first got here, they had just finished building it, not even furnishing it."
Damn.
So it took them
Dude.
like 3 to 4 years to finish furnishing and putting all the appliances in there and everything. And like they're not even running it at full capacity right now. It's literally just a takeout line.
That's brutal.
That is
Yeah.
Yeah.
brutal. That's fucked up.
And it's like it's big enough where you could do like how they do out in town, where it's just like every other table's like closed off. Because
Mhm.
that restaurant, it's good to set like 400 people at maximum capacity. And so they're sitting there, they've got all this room to work with, and they're not even like really utilizing it. And like we had a meeting for it a couple months ago, and like they were more focused about like getting like I guess more or better like food choices than they were on like how they could improve and actually start like normalizing the place.
Hmm.
Because
It's,
I know
Yeah.
a lot of people had been bitching about like the quality of the food.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of food poisoning from some undercooked chicken while I was locked up, but
Ooh.
yeah, it didn't last very long. It was just a day. I think I puked once, and then like I had a migraine.
food
What I
poisoning.
find is a lot of restaurants are now like like their serving sizes are shorted because they're not selling as much, right?
Mhm.
So they're
Well,
not
so it's
ordering.
actually I was working in restaurant industry. Supplies are really hard to get for restaurants right now. A
Yeah.
lot like
Okay.
Cisco
Yeah.
is short on everything.
Yep.
Sometimes we would have to go to normally we order everything through Cisco at the restaurant I used
Yeah.
to work
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
We would have to go to grocery stores or sometimes to like other
For like matzo sticks
suppliers
and chicken wings, right? Like
for like no for like
cheese,
roast beef
lettuce,
for like a leg of roast beef or
no
like
sweat.
cheese, lettuce, tomatoes. One of our suppliers was out of avocados for like 3 months, and then when they came back, they were $2 a pop.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's insane.
It's
I know
really
a lot of
been hitting
restaurants
weird.
around me, like the Chinese restaurant I order like once a week or twice a week or something like
Mhm.
that, or once every 2 weeks. They shortened a lot of their sizes and upped the price like $2-3. Like I
Yeah.
get a General Tao chicken and like it normally come with rice and it was like this great big serving and it was like $16.99. Now it's like $21.99. It comes with no rice and it's half the size.
Oh.
It's like what the hell? Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand, like, yeah, it costs more
Yeah,
to like
but
run your
that's
shit, but
still
like
yeah.
I'd
that's
find me a new
hurting,
Chinese restaurant, man.
right? No, it's fire though. It's worth it. Like I don't know, I still buy it.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna support them. I don't want them to close up. So like,
Yeah.
like, and that's
Yeah.
another thing. A lot of places around me, like where we are, like low populated, and like a lot of places are shutting down. Like where I work, like for a mechanic.
Mhm.
Like a lot of the times right now, like my breaks, like me doing breaks on Twitch is my income. Like I don't have an income because like last week was my first week back to work since like the second lockdown, and I only worked 20 hours. But I balanced
Mhm.
that with doing breaks, and I was just overworking myself to the point where like I was like falling asleep like at like near the end of the stream or like halfway through
Yeah.
my stream. I was like, whoo, slam a G Fuel, like,
Mhm.
and I was just like overworking myself just because like I don't want to be put in a position where I can't afford my bills, and it's
Yeah.
just getting to the point where like I don't have work in my trade, even though I just become fully certified, and it's just like that's a kick in the face, right? Like I
Yeah.
finally like after 6 years of doing my trade, I got 10,000 hours plus like logged into trade. I finally passed my exam, and it's just like there's no 40 hours available for me anywhere. Not alone just like at the shop that I'm like wanted and needed at. Like
Right.
they only could have 20 hours. Like that's all I got booked out for
Yeah.
last week. So it's like
Yeah, and that's pretty common across the board. I mean, how many
exactly
college
right.
graduates do you know who don't have a job in their degree?
Mhm.
Yeah, no, well, like for me, it's a bit different because like I graduated technically in like 2014. Like that's
Yeah.
when I got my certificate. But the way trades work is that there's different levels, and you keep going back to school after you get so many hours.
Mhm.
And in the States, it's called AES certification. You're
Mhm.
basically just certified across the whole United States. But in Canada, it's called a Red Seal certification, and you're certified across the country. But where I was a fourth year before I became Red Seal, if I wanted to travel, if my
Mhm.
course didn't line up with the provincial curriculum, I'd be demoted. Like
Wow.
that like if I wanted to move to find a job, because where I live, there's hardly any jobs to begin with, let alone like a well-paying job.
Mhm.
Mhm.
If I wanted like to move to try to get a better paying job and continue to get my career, a Red Seal ticket in my career, you get screwed. So like to me, it was like what the hell? Like
Yeah.
that made no sense to me. So
Mhm.
right now where I'm Red Seal certified, yes, I don't have work in my province in my like right now at my current job, but easily like anywhere like in Canada, like up north, there's a lot of mining, like a lot of mineral mining stuff like that, and those sites like pay big money for isolation pay and stuff like that. And like my mom's a nurse and she's gone up there when I was a kid, make like $80+ an hour, like things like that. And it's just like there's tons of jobs like that available for me, but then I'm like isolating when I come home and like just this like there's just so much extra. It's like there's jobs out there, yeah, I can go do it, but I'm gonna have to sacrifice a whole lot for what? At the end of the day, for what? Like it's not worth it. Like it's really not. Like,
Yeah. Well, boys, I think that's pretty much all we got time for. Does anybody have anything else they want to say? Any self promos here? Feel free.
Shit. Yo, check me out on Twitch.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/
you
KonciousKid.
Pokey find me out.
Twitch.tv/ PokePred. Twitch.tv/ ScrapsJ. And Twitch.tv/ The Offline DJ. I hope you guys enjoy.
And Twitch.tv/ KonciousKid.
Yep.
Hey.
We got Con up there.
Where is dude? You like on my screen? You pointed the wrong direction every time.
On my screen, you pointed. Scraps
Yeah,
pointed
no,
to
I-
Pred.
DJ, Con,
Yeah.
Scraps.
Yeah.
Interesting.
For me,
Just-
it's
alright.
Scraps, Con, and Rob. So,
Okay.
anyways, thank you guys
That's
so
funny.
much for joining us for this episode. Thank you guys for joining me. It's a pleasure to have you guys here.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
And
Appreciate
I hope y'all have a great night. Thanks again
Hell
for
yeah.
watching.
Peace out.
Love
All
you
right,
people.
peace.